WBEZ. Learn more at N.
The Whitewater Rapids of changing tariffs for businesses that get parts from overseas.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Odoo, offering software that provides building blocks for creating a custom software suite. Odoo, what businesses need.
I'm David Brancaccio in Los Angeles. Good morning to you. In a test of a president's power to act without Congress, oral arguments are set for tomorrow in the Supreme Court over a subset of the Trump administration's import taxes, what are dubbed reciprocal tariffs. Ahead of that, we continue to talk to businesses benefiting or losing out to the highest U.S. tariffs since the 1930s. Today, not your grandfather's folding camp chair. It's a Pennsylvania-based business with a global supply chain called True Places. Its chairs are pricier than most, and I will say nicer than most, like for camping or tailgating. Ben Nepler is co-founder. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
So look, there was a long stretch some years ago where a U.S.-based company could set up a supply chain somewhere in the world and set it and forget it. Like you could have that relationship for years. You've had to, I think, refine your supply chain, quite a bit in recent years?
When we started the company, the entire category of this kind of product is all made in Asia, primarily in China. From the beginning, we were trying to figure out alternatives to that. Last year, we finally found a viable alternative in Cambodia, so outside of China. It took us about a year to move and transition our manufacturing from China to Cambodia. And then, we've been getting hit with a lot more tariffs again this year.
Yeah, with the shifting tariff landscape, Cambodia, there's a tariff that is now a lot higher than it was to start the year, right?
In the last 6 months, the tariff rate on products like we make in Cambodia coming into the US has gone from 0% to 49% to 10% to 36% to 19%. Plus all kinds of other threats and other tariffs. So it's really impossible to plan when you've got no idea what that's going to look like tomorrow.
Ben, would you manufacture in, for instance, Pennsylvania, in the United States, if the numbers worked out? Shorter supply chains would minimize the risk.
Of course, if we could, we would, but the manufacturing for our category of products just doesn't even exist in the US. So we'd have to create all of these interconnected supply chains that don't currently exist. If they did exist, the cost would be orders of magnitude higher.
And be clear, you have U.S. employees. It's just they're not actually making the chairs.
That's the irony of this situation is that we're a U.S. company. We do pretty much everything in the U.S. except for just the manufacturing and assembling of our chairs. If we go out of business, then all of those other businesses that we do those other functions with in the US also get hit.
Are you watching this Supreme Court case at all? Because it's a chance, right, that some of these tariffs are ruled illegal and the numbers change again.
I think the general feeling, speaking to other business owners and other founders and others in the industry, is that even if it's ruled illegal in this case, this administration will find other ways to get to the similar kind of outcome. We've seen over the past few months the exact rules and the tariff rates change on an almost daily basis. And so this court case feels consequential on the one hand, but also feels just like another change that we don't know where it's ultimately going to end up or just continue changing over time.
Ben Nepler, co-founder of the Pennsylvania outdoor chair company True Places. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
What happens if all that tax income bound for the Treasury from reciprocal tariffs goes away if the High Court finds these were essentially ill-gotten gains? Marketplace with Kai Ryssdal later today has a special report on tariffs at the Supreme Court this week. It's on tonight. Listen on many public radio stations or streaming from marketplace.org. Let's do this morning's numbers. Looking down, S&P futures down 1.1%. NASDAQ futures down 1.5%, about a half an hour before stock markets open in earnest. And after what government big data company Palantir called the best corporate profit report ever, the stock is down 8% in pre-market trading now. A lot of artificial intelligence stocks are droopy this morning. In part, it's news that Michael Burry, the big short guy, famous for knowing when to bet stocks will go down, is betting some AI stocks will go down. The Trump administration has responded to a court order directing the U.S. government to use emergency funds to pay partial food stamp benefits for November, but it's unclear when the payments land for struggling families.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by The Economist. Introducing The Economist Insider, a new video offering with twice weekly shows featuring in-depth analysis and expertise. More at economist.com/insider. And by Schwab. Schwab offers investors choices like full-service wealth management, self-directed investing options, and trading on Thinkorswim. More at schwab.com.
Elon Musk got some bad news from a huge investor today. Norway's massive sovereign wealth fund has voted against Musk's pay package. Marketplace's Nancy Marshall-Genzer reports.
Tesla is scheduled to hold its annual meeting this Thursday, but shareholders can cast their ballots early on things like the nearly $1 trillion pay package Tesla wants to give Elon Musk. Musk would have to increase Tesla's value to $8.5 trillion to get the raise. Tesla says the pay package is, quote, designed to retain Elon for years to come. Norway's sovereign wealth fund says it voted against the proposal, though, because it was concerned about the total size of the award. It also says Tesla didn't do anything to mitigate what it called key person risk, that is, a situation where a company depends too much on one person, in this case, Elon Musk. The fund says it will continue to seek constructive dialogue with Tesla. It owns a little more than 1% of the company, a stake worth more than $11 billion. I'm Nancy Marshall-Genzer for Marketplace.
Our producers are Tamar Fagan, Ashley Rodriguez, Ariana Rosas, and Erica Soderstrom. Our senior producer is Alex Schroeder. Our supervising senior producer is Meredith Gerritsen-Morby. In Los Angeles, I'm David Brancaccio. This is the Marketplace Morning Report. From APM, American Public Media.